Strategic networks enable us to plan, execute, and self-monitor actions and skills. That is when multiple ways of action and expression support diverse strategic networks. We should strive to provide options for physical action, for expression and communication, as well as for the executive functions. The goal here is to develop strategic and goal-directed learners. Providing options for physical action in computer science is based heavily on the variety of unplugged activities. The combination of those activities with coding on the computer will allow students multiple ways to demonstrate what they know. Another way to have an alternative between completing the computer science task on the computer might be to engage in an interactive game. A myriad of PowerPoint templates exist for various popular games. For example, practice the computer science vocabulary with Jeopardy! Or practice codes with Pictionary. We will start with drag and drop programs, but as your learners mature, they may move up to different types of programs. Allowing flexibility within and across programs will support learners with various abilities and needs. Learners should also have alternatives for expressing what they have learned. It is very helpful if the learner can present models showing different effective ways to do something. So the teacher can share those models and those examples. That way, the learners will see how a goal can be accomplished in multiple ways. While UDL doesn't necessarily mandate the technology use, it's much easier to offer options and alternatives relying on technology tools. So technology can support learners in practicing the subcomponents of some skill with easy access to scaffolds, supports, and immediate feedback. Now, the final product will depend on the goal. If the goal is to show the knowledge of coding sequence, that can be achieved in many different ways using various media to provide alternative modes of expression and skill demonstration. So maybe students can produce a multimedia interactive stories, movie trailers, artwork to go along with the coding sequence. There is a great connection between coding and writing processes. Well, we know that in order to engage reluctant writers, sometimes it's important to rethink writing. The same is true for coding. Here are the alternatives that can help students demonstrate learning. Allow students to participate in physical role plays, or maybe create videos about their stories before they start the coding. Use physical manipulatives of commands, blocks, or lines of code. Use programs such as Powtoon or Comic Strip Generator or any other program to connect to literacy and create a story explaining the computer science process. Many teachers use sentence or story starters as a way to help students generate ideas. Using screen capturing software, camera, or video camera, teachers can create video code starters so that they don't have to start from scratch. Here are some examples of the actual sentence or code starters that were used by the teachers during the computer science lesson. Providing various scaffolds and feedback is an important element of multiple means of action and expression UDL principle. Guided notes may help learners with various abilities and needs to follow the instruction. Another way to support diverse learners is to provide work exemplars and specific rubrics for each assignment or subtask. Even if you have never done an assignment before, you could ask your advanced learners to create an exemplar for the future. Also, break those bigger tasks into smaller chunks and build in opportunities to provide feedback throughout. You can either ask students to do it themselves or offer the breakdown to avoid anxiety. In coding activities, embed prompts throughout to stop and debug so that students don't get too far without checking the codes for accuracy. In any subject, record students' progress, create charts, or allow students to self-chart their progress. That will enhance students' capacity for monitoring progress towards their goals. If you cannot wait to learn more about UDL and get more ideas from other teachers, UDL Exchange is a great resource. It is a place to browse many different UDL ideas across various subject areas and topics. It is not the learner who needs fixing. It's the learning environment, including the curriculum, that needs to shift in order to remove barriers and support the variability that is always present in our classrooms. Remember, inflexible, one-size-fits-all curriculum creates barriers that prevent students from reaching learning goals. UDL acknowledges the need for alternatives to suit many different abilities, needs, and circumstances. Good luck to you in your UDL journey.